And
Upside down and wrong.
well, I figure the backdrop's bad no matter what I do, so. Anyway, fellas, yeah, for those of you that don't know me, although I have a very prolific attitude and outgoing spirit, I'm Chad Stout, and I came to talk a little bit tonight about Cursillo, and I didn't know really how many guys in this room know what it is. You may have heard the word, but don't really know what Cursillo is, and I'll be frank with you, you'll not get me to tell you everything that it is, because it would ruin it for you. Cursillo is essentially a movement that started within the Catholic Church in 1945. It started in Spain. You spell the word C-U-R-S-I-L-L-O. And as a result of a couple of men that were watching their families go to Mass. And the men were supposed to be, as God has told us, the leaders, or the spiritual leaders of the family. Well, the men weren't doing that. As a matter of fact, men don't do it in a lot of countries. And that's one of the things that we, as a Christian body in this world, have to work on. But that's another discussion for another time. What these two fellows did was they put together a program to re-engage men in the church, to allow them to open themselves up and face God and understand that God is not here, God is here, God is here. God is everywhere. And to accept that, and to accept within themselves the things that were, perhaps that were bothering them. And what happens when you go to a Cursillo, you can only do it one time in your life. Once, you've done it, right? How many, thanks Gary, you know, how many, you've done it, I know Father Eric did it. See, we got a bunch of guys who've done it. What year did you do yours?
I don't remember. I did it in Hawaii.
Oh, you did Hawaii, okay. What about you, Vic?
62.
62?
92.
92?
85.
85? Yeah, you did yours when you were in seminary, right? 88?
I'm trying to think about 40.
You said 35 years?
35.
Yeah, okay, it's 35. You know, how about you?
78.
78?
94.
74? Oh, I got it, okay. Santa Cruz, yeah. Yeah, San Francisco. Well, I did mine in 2009. I did it up in Applegate, and I didn't know what it was. All I knew at the time that I was invited to go, and I was broke then too. I mean, I couldn't have gone. I didn't have any money. But I was sponsored in by someone else, and I went to Cursillo, not knowing what it was, because I was told, don't look it up on the internet, you'll make the experience worse. If you want to get everything out of Cursillo that you could possibly get, go with your heart open and leave it at that. I went through a course with about 60 guys. It was the single life-changing event of my life. And if you know how you win your rank the things in your life that are really incredible and rank them down, this has to be the number one. Getting married, having children, other things may get close. But Cursillo, for me, was incredible. And it freed me. It completely freed me to be the rather outgoing and crazy person you see now.
So you were that way before?
I was a little bit that way. But I'm free now. And now that I can walk, because if I have legs to work again, I'm really free now, so watch out. But it's basically a course in Christianity. It's like a retreat. There's some very reflective moments. There's Mass every day. There's inspiring talks. They're called royos, but there's a lot of interaction with the other guys that you're with. Now the Cursillo is put on for men and for women. The one that's going to happen this year will be on the 1st of October. So it'll be the 1st through the 4th. It's not a faint-hearted thing. Not at all. You don't just sit in a chair and go, okay, yeah, here, so what's lunch? It's not like that. What happens is you find yourself absolutely immersed in God, all the questions you have about life and yourself. It's profound. There's few other words that could be used to describe it. We only offer it once a year for men, and we offer it once a year for women. I think the women's one is coming up. Oh, I have it here. But what I have for you is a sheet which will simply explain Cursillo to you. So if you don't remember anything that I said tonight, that's fine, because it's printed on paper. But I would like to show you something. Just like everything else you do, there's a candidate form. The candidate form has a statement at the top I think you'll find interesting. The Cursillo movement is an instrument of renewal in the Catholic Church. Its aim is to encourage Christian living through a continuing method of prayer, study, and action. The Cursillo Weekend is designed to provide participants with a deeper understanding of Christian life by living in community and supporting one another. The weekend provides an overview of our Catholic teachings and ways in which participants can deepen their own spiritual growth, guided by Roman Catholic traditions. The weekend experience will offer its participants a supportive, faith-filled community of friends who are dedicated to bringing Christ to the environments in which they have influence. By living a Cursillo Weekend, candidates are encouraged and often rejuvenated in the faith to make a conscious and growing commitment to fulfill their baptismal call to be Christ's light in the world. Our first mission in life is evangelization, right? That's what this is. Now, I had a Catholic man tell me today, I was up in Arbor and I was going to be teaching some veterans on engineering and volunteering up there. And I said to this guy about Cursillo, I had to go. And he says, I said, have you made your Cursillo? And he said, well, it's not high on my bucket list. I said, okay, does this have to do with age? And he said, well, yeah. He says, I'm 82 years old. I got a lot of things I want to do before I die. And my comment to him was very simple. What's more important than engaging with God? So, it's for everybody. Doesn't matter how old you are. I did it when I was 54 years old, but I'm 60 now. I wish I'd done it sooner. You know, I wish I'd done it sooner. Because it would have made a profound difference at an earlier age. So I'll leave you guys with Cursillo. It's called Cursillo Simply Explained. It's got my information on it if you want to know more. For those of you that have ever considered Cursillo before, I have candidate forms, and I also have a flyer.
That's good.
I printed it wrong because I have one of those printers where if you don't turn the paper around just right, it prints it the wrong way. But the information's there, okay? There's not very many of them because color cartridges are not cheap. So the deal is, it tells about the upcoming weekends. It tells a little bit more about how Cursillo originated, and you're welcome to any and all material that I have with me tonight. Questions? Was that? Okay, thank you.